It is Monday, May 6th. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Ross, if you could please call the roll.
Baker.
Here.
Ms. LeGrand. Yes. Ms. Lanier. Pastor Moody.
Present.
Mr. O'Connor.
Present.
Dr. Randalls.
Present.
Mr. Ross, President. President Faub.
Present. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda with one minor correction and just moving the 2013-2014 KISD budget resolution to an action item.
Mr. O'Connor, support. Thank you. Dr. Randalls. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Celebrations.
President Faub, members of the board, I am pleased to ask Mr. Ron Gorman to come up front to present our students for the DECA International Conference.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Madam President, honorable board members, Superintendent Neal, I would like to introduce two members of the Grand Rapids Public Schools team to you this evening. One is Mr. Troy Wilbon, building principal at Creston High School. Mr. Wilbon, please come down. And Ms. Brenda Cook, who is an English, marketing, business teacher at Creston High School. This evening we are celebrating students who are in a club called DECA. And if you have no idea what DECA is, it's the Distributive Education Clubs of America. And with this particular club, students are working on marketing, business, small business. It's a high school club. It's also a college club. Ms. Cook has been the chair for many years at Creston. I believe it was the first year I was at Creston. She asked if she could have a school store, and I was thinking, okay, something that's pretty small. We'll sell some candies and things of that nature. And the next day I turned around and there were slushy machines getting installed. And there were about 40 kids at lunchtime who were a part of this wonderful opportunity. As you can see behind us, we have three very sharp-looking gentlemen with their DECA blazers. That's something that Ms. Cook and I talked about early on. We want our students to go in the community and look sharp, and they absolutely do. A little about this DECA celebration. The students have the opportunity to compete locally, and there were about 45 students, or there were 45 students from Creston High School who competed at Ferris State University. So that's the first leg of the competition. From that point, 21 students qualified for the state competition, and one year the competition is in Grand Rapids at the Amway Grand Plaza Hotel, and the next year the competition is in Detroit. This is the first year that students from any of our schools have gone past the state level, and we are proud to say that we have 3 students from Creston High School who qualified for the international competition in California.
All right.
And so what we would like to do is Ms. Cook has a few words, and then Mr. Wilbon has a few words, and then we would like the 3 gentlemen to come before you today and just share a little bit about their experience at the DECA International Competition. I believe Ms. Cook said 1 gentleman. I don't know if it's who's ready to go, but one of the Key brothers, I think we're ready to go. Okay, so one of the gentlemen will tell you about the time spent. These folks are Kentrell Clark. Kentrell, will you raise your hand, please? Jamari Key and Shamari Key. Okay, so Ms. Cook, will you tell us a little more about DECA, please?
This is the 7th year that we've had a chapter at Creston High School, and I am very pleased that we have really been a presence over these 7 years. The first year, I took 4 students with me when we first started our chapter. And we have taken probably over 200 students over the last 7 years to compete, and we've probably won close to 100 medals over the last 7 years.
Amazing.
And we've always dominated in accounting, and they have different areas of marketing that they compete in. The 3 gentlemen behind me, they did a written project on the importance of financial literacy at the high school level to understand about banking, money, interest rates when you go to college, credit cards, and they did their presentation. And they do this before live judges from the business community. It's a very intense, stressful academic competition. They have a lot of fun on the downtime, but it's something that it takes a lot of preparation. And we've spent several nights in the computer lab at Preston High School working on this and doing their research and getting their projects together. It's quite extensive. It has to be in a special binder. It has to have 12 different sections to it. It's pretty rigorous. And the great thing is that by making it to that state competition, Mr. Gorman mentioned we had 21 that made it to the state level. Every student that makes it to state qualifies for scholarships. For instance, Davenport University gives every state competitor $2,000 a year for all 4 years, just for being a state competitor. Their certificate that I give them for competition is what they take to the admissions office, financial aid. Northwood University, 4-year, $4,000 scholarships. DECA, there's more than $300,000 in scholarships that are put out there. We have over 600 companies that are DECA supporters. So Kmart, Target, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Foot Locker, they all hire DECA students. If you put that you're a member of DECA on your application, they will hire you first, and they give scholarships. I have had probably 25 different students over probably the last 5 or 6 years that have had jobs because of their DECA affiliations. 2 years ago, Mr. Gorman transferred a call to me where a local Preston business community person had 2 internships. They wanted specifically DECA students because they had a daughter who was a DECA teacher in North Dakota. So it's something that is nationwide. They competed with 16,500 students in Anaheim, and they were from the United States, Mexico, Canada, Puerto Rico, and Germany. And they all had to have blue blazers. I've never seen such a sea of blue in my life. We texted each other every 3 hours because we couldn't keep track of where we were. So it's just a wonderful opportunity, and I am just so grateful that Mr. Gorman first, then Mr. Wilbon have supported us 100%. I've always wanted to open a school's door. Mr. Gorman's first semester at Preston, he had a spot for me. His support and Mr. Wilbon's support has been absolutely invaluable. And then that transferred on to your support and Superintendent Neal's support. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely life-changing. The statistics with our DECA students, it's like 2% of the normal college enrollment is going toward business, like 14.5% of people in DECA are going to business in college. And, my first DECA chapter was one of our first Gates Millennium Scholars. He's working on his master's degree at Michigan State right now. Another one from my first DECA chapter, he is getting his master's in marketing. He's already got his undergrad in marketing because of the exposure to these subjects, and it's been phenomenal. So these boys have had a fantastic opportunity, and they have a lot to take with them. So I've talked enough, but thank you very much.
Mr. Wilbon, do you have anything to add about these young men?
I don't have much to say. Mr. Gorman and Ms. Cook has pretty much gave us the total background. Only thing I will say is that Ms. Cook, like she stated, all the hours that they spend after school is really key. So having a staff member in the building, as Ms. Cook, putting in the hours, showing the students support, really shows the great example of the teachers we have in our district. And the 3 young men that we have over there, they have been in Creston for 4 years and 3 years, and you just have watched them grow as a young man, which is very, very pleasing to say. And all 3 young men are leaders in our building, are on pace to graduate, and when they have concerns in the building or they want to promote anything for the student body, they don't speak about themselves, they speak about others, and that shows the leadership that they have demonstrated in our building. So I just want to thank Superintendent Neal and all the board members for supporting our young men and our teaching staff to give these young men the opportunity.
So why don't we introduce the young men to you? So gentlemen, please. You're all going to speak. All right. So, all right. Take care of business.
Hi.
Hey.
First, I want to start by saying thank you. For all the help that you gave us. When we really didn't have stuff together, when we went to state for real, everything happened so fast. We tried our best, and we did all we had. We gave our all. Ms. Cook, one of the best teachers. We don't have a class. We don't have a business class. And after school, she could have went home, or she had grading tests and all that stuff. She could have just left it alone, but she gave everything to us, helped us out, and we had a great time.
Good.
We had fun.
Well, I would say that again, like you said, thank you all for making the decision to give us the opportunity to go to International DECA. It was a great experience. We love California. We love DECA. It's fun in the sun. Back to the stand after school thing. Most schools around the nation have classes. They have all year round classes that prepare them for DECA. We had
After school.
After school,
Yeah,
that's about it.
Like 2 hours.
About 2 hours
Amazing.
communicating back and forth amongst each other and with Ms. Cook, trying to get everything together, and it was a clutter. Like from the first day, we didn't know. Like we just jumped into it.
Yeah.
She pushed us the first time we tried. Be like, yeah, this is something new. We pretty shaky about it. Be like, oh, this DECA thing. What is it?
It's all of our first year in DECA.
Yeah.
Wow.
All of our
First year, first time.
Even more
going.
impressive.
And, we got friends in DECA. We didn't really want to do it at first. And
Yeah, it
she
sounds
just
like a lot
you
of
gonna
work.
do it, So we had all got into it. Actually turned out really nice. Met a lot of people from everywhere.
Big challenge.
Yeah, the exposure from DECA has really helped me decide which I really want to do for college, or just gave me more exposure to different outlets at the collegiate level, and just meeting so many people, like she said, people from Canada, British Columbia, Guam, Puerto Rico, just people from all different countries, so you get to meet different people and learn different cultures and different aspects of people, and make so many friends. Like, I made friends from the college I'm trying to attend, Eastern Michigan. I met friends that's already going there, so I'm already starting a base, so to speak, at the college. And I can't even put into words how much grateful we are to have that experience to go to internationals. Like when I first heard that I was going to internationals,
Excited.
We really couldn't believe it.
Couldn't believe it. Mind-boggling. That's all I can say about it. It was
a good feeling.
It was a feeling
great
like
feeling.
made you want to cry feeling, but a cry of joy. That's what it was.
That's awesome.
I appreciate all the work y'all did to have us go to international, because I know that's a lot of money for like plane tickets and the hotel and food. I know that was a lot for y'all, and I guess y'all didn't have to do it if y'all didn't find the money for it.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
We appreciate you guys representing us. You did it very well, very well.
absolutely.
It was an
Absolutely.
honor to send you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to do our best to represent Grand Rapids and our school, Creston, to the fullest of our abilities.
You've done well, very well. It's a privilege to have you. Open up to the board members. John? This is just the beginning. Good job. Thank you so much. So wonderful.
We'll just apply this.
No. Thank you. Right outside the hotel.
Yep, great job.
It's a big deal. This is the vice president or the.
Nice, wonderful. Thank you, awesome.
President Fall,
Yes.
we might do this later, but I just want to recognize some other guests that are here.
Sure.
There's some future teachers in the room from Fair State, and I'd just like to say
Awesome.
hello and just thank you for coming.
Hi, guys.
Thank you, Dr. Baker. Mr. Arrington.
Hello, hello.
Hello. You're on.
I just have a couple questions. One, we just got done talking about DECA. I don't know if you know the answer to this, Ms. Neal, but are you planning to bring that to Center of Innovations next year?
You know what, I was just thinking about that, just made a note for COI High, the Innovation School, because we have a business school there. And we will have business classes, and so I would ask Mrs. Cook absolutely to come and join that team to continue with the DECA program.
And my second but last question is just like, what is the evaluation process for choosing teachers next year for the Center of Innovation School?
You want me to answer now?
Anytime you feel comfortable. It doesn't really matter.
We are going to post the positions, and so teachers can apply, and we're going to go through an interview process.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
You are good.
Does your colleague, do you have something to report today? Okay, thank you. All right, public comment for board agenda items. Do you have some? Okay, moving on. Secretary's report. Mr. Ross.
No report today.
All right. Superintendent, Weatherall Neal.
I am going to ask John Hemholt. Are you coming up? It is for our tobacco-free policy. We have someone that's going to come and present. Yes, that's all right. Came a little sooner than John expected.
Sharon Briggs is here, I believe, with one of her colleagues.
Patty.
Oh, here we are.
Patty's
Come on up,
here.
you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry. Our friends from Cherry Street Health Services had asked for an opportunity to come and present to you, information following the board's recent policy update regarding the smoke-free campus and our new policy, which now makes us one of several districts across the state that are strengthening and improving their board policies around that kind of smoke-free campus. And I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you. I'm Patty Warmington from Cherry Street Health Services with Sharon Briggs, and we were here, I believe, a couple of times in March when the policy was being read and then voted on, so we're back. But we certainly appreciate so much the fact that you guys moved forward in being able to strengthen the tobacco policy from making sure that it applies to not only just students, but to faculty and visitors on and off campus, 24/7. You covered the whole gamut of it. And so you actually, with the ratings that the state gave, you moved from a 2 up to a 4, with the 4 being the very highest possible. And so I'm not sure if you saw it, but we did run an ad at the end of March, which for all of the schools that had at least a 3 or 4, 3 being comprehensive and 4 being comprehensive plus, that we did run an ad congratulating all of the schools. We do have a few things for you, not that this will cover all of your school area, but there are, for those who do smoke, whether there's, any staff members or parents who come into the building or whatever, there is a Michigan Quit line where there is some free counseling services. And they also do it for teens. So if there are teens who are struggling with this, and there's not a lot of cessation programs that are really geared toward teens, and these are, my understanding is, master level people on the other end of the phone, and it's multi-session kinds of counseling things where they develop a plan and then you check in and you do that. And I think they even beef it up a little bit more for the youth. You can always get some more, if you call the Department of Community Health. I'm not the keeper of all of those, but I do have a few. We also have some resources for you as far as just websites and stuff where you can go and get some more information, be able to do some stuff if you want to explore things a little bit more. And then one of the things that we do have, Sharon, do you want to pass those out, is it's a handout for you on basically the enforcement of the policy, because having the policy is the first step. The next step is communicating it and then also enforcing it, and that always gets to be kind of, hopefully those aren't issues, but there's a little bit of just helpful tips here if it does end up being any kind of concern that you do have. So what we do have is we have a plaque to give to you that acknowledges that you are at a level 4, although it's called Comprehensive Plus on this because level 4 wouldn't mean anything to anybody looking at it. And we just really, by putting this up also, we're hoping that helps educate anybody that comes into, visual contact with it, that does say something about the strength of your policy here. So we really do appreciate the work that you've done, that you are supportive of this movement across the state and hopefully across the nation, but we're focused on, what's going on in the state. And so we just want to make sure that, we tell you how grateful we are with that. And Sharon has a little bit of more information here.
We also have printed postcards. We had several thousand actually printed that you can distribute to each of your schools either now or in the fall, which will help you implement your policy or strengthen it. And basically it says 100% tobacco-free schools, attention, and how the policy may affect you. And it just indicates, what the policy is. So, I've been in contact with John about how to deliver that. We do have examples for everybody here, for the board, so you can look at that. And that's the first piece is, being able to follow through. And, this is a process that we really started in September when both Mrs. Neal and John came to our legislative breakfast. And so we're very appreciative that you did follow through with it. It's great. 19,000, there's 19,000 kids in GRPS? It's about 17? The state was very impressed that, 17,000 kids are gonna be with an excellent policy.
Good.
So, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right. Thank you. So next on the agenda is our action item, the KISD budget. Do I have a motion to approve that resolution?
Motion to approve the adoption of the support resolution for the KISD budget.
Support. Discussion. Seeing none. Mr. Ross, you can.
Who supported that?
I did.
Ms. Lanier.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Ross, yes. Dr. Randalls?
Pardon me.
Yes or no?
All in vote.
Yes, sorry, we were discussing.
Mr. O'Connor? Mr. O'Connor?
Mr. O'Connor.
Yes.
Pastor Moody?
Yes.
Ms. Lanier?
Wait a second, wait, what?
You wanted to discuss?
Yeah, did we have the discussion piece of it?
I asked for discussion and nobody.
discussed, yeah, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. LeGrand Esquire?
Verbal.
Sorry.
Mr. LeGrand Esquire, how do you vote? Dr. Baker?
Yes.
Ms. Slade is excused. President Fall?
Yes.
Action item passes 8-0.
Are we clear on what we just voted on?
Yes.
All
Very
right,
much
thank
so.
you. Next on the agenda is the consent grouping. Do I
Motion
have-
to approve the consent agenda?
do I have-
Support.
Ready for that vote when you are.
Mr. Ross, yes. Dr. Randalls?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Pastor Moody?
Yes.
Mrs. Lanier?
Yes.
Mr. LeGrand Esquire? Dr. Baker?
Yes.
Slade is excused. President Fall.
Yes.
Consent agenda passes 8-0.
No discussion items. Public comment.
We do have one public comment card from Carol Glanville.
Got one coming.
We have another coming from Mr. Paul Helder.
Hey.
Ms. Glanville, would you like a reminder at the 3-minute mark, or?
Sure.
I'll just hold up a card here if you want the reminder. I'll hold this up at the 1-minute mark. When you have 1 minute left, I'll hold that up.
I think I have it pretty well timed out.
Okay.
Good evening, members of the board, Ms. Neal, President Fall. My name is Carol Glanville. I'm the Instructional Technology Specialist for the district. I'm here this evening because as it stands right now, my contract is not being renewed, and I've got no indication that the district intends to continue with this position in any form. I'm not sure how this came about or why it's even under consideration, given the plans for educational technology that are looming on the horizon. I can only assume that whoever made this recommendation does not understand what exactly this position entails. So I thought I should take the opportunity to make you aware of the choice that's being made and the impact it will have on the district. In MIS, we have 3 divisions: network administration with 1 immediate supervisor and a staff of 8, PC tech team with 1 immediate supervisor and a staff of 9. The 3rd division is instructional technology. This is my division, and it's where we make the connections between the boxes and wires, so to speak, and effective use and implementation. There is no immediate supervisor and only 1 staff member, me. The public-facing responsibilities of my position focus on training and outreach. I partner with individual teachers to assist in implementing technology directly in their classrooms, visiting, observing, coaching, and at times team teaching. I assist in parent training and community outreach. I'm also called upon to provide training and resources for secretarial staff and others district-wide on whatever programs they may need support. I consistently weave strategy and pedagogy into my trainings, so staff come away with a new perspective on how to teach using technology, why they use the tools they have, and how to do so effectively. But this is only a fraction of my work. In addition to training, I act as the primary contact administrator for many of our district-wide initiatives. Of special note is my work with Apple as we expand our implementation of iPads. In just the last 2 years, I've single-handedly trained 320 staff members and assisted in the implementation of over 1,000 devices. I've developed all the procedural documents and coordinated with our PC tech team and Apple implementation specialists to create, continually monitor, and update the various iPad initiatives throughout the district. I also manage our student email productivity tool, Gaggle. This tool is an invaluable vehicle in providing students with much-needed skill building in the use of technology. I create and maintain all staff accounts and frequently work with Gaggle directly as district master to make sure the system runs smoothly for all. As we look to the very near future, I need not remind anyone of the focus of technology in the Common Core, online growth assessments, and SBAC online high-stakes testing. In order for students to demonstrate their learning in these online environments, there needs to be a concerted effort by the district to tie curriculum design, instructional practice, and equipment procurement together. The position of instructional technology specialist provides this link. In addition, here are a few other areas that are directly affected by my work in the district. I work closely with our PC and network tech teams to ensure that as programs and applications are updated, our infrastructure follows suit or is ahead of the curve, so service is not interrupted for our users. I provide customized support to each curriculum area with a view to state and national tech standards. I work directly with building administrators to help them inventory equipment and software. This process culminates in a customized action plan for each building that includes recommendations for purchasing, training, and in-house procedure for maintaining equipment and integrating technology. In closing, I would just like to remind you all that there can be no doubt we are, in fact, in the midst of a cultural revolution. Just as the Industrial Revolution changed the very fabric of life, so too technology has and continues to do the same. In order to prepare our students for the world they will live in, we need to be supporting technology integration more. Cutting this position would be a giant step backward for the district at a time when we need to be taking giant strides forward. People often cite equity of access or lack thereof as an obstacle to success in urban education. It would be a shameful disservice to our students, parents, staff, and the district as a whole to cut such a fundamental role in the transformation of GRPS. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Mr. Halder.
Mr. Helder, would you like a reminder of any sort?
Sure. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Looks like there's going to be a short meeting tonight, so that's a plus, right? Tonight, I just want to bring up an issue that I've brought up in the past before, continues to trouble me, and that is the use of other as an agenda item for closed sessions. I understand that everyone knows topics may come up. However, when there are topics that are of great significance to the general public, to the staff, to the students, to the school family, I really don't think that them coming up in a closed session under other is the place for that. Most recently, this occurred at the April 22 closed session, which authorized the sale of Campaw Park in favor of the creation, or at least adjoined to the creation, of a GRPS charter school. Now, historically, we have opposed charter schools, although we have not opposed GRPS charter schools. I don't know, even now, how that's going to play out. I don't know what the pros and cons of that decision were, because ultimately, I didn't know to come for a meeting like that. It was a closed session meeting that was designed for a legal opinion. So I knew that wasn't going to be discussed. There was no need for me or other members of the community to show up. Ultimately, from what I've read in the paper, which has been my virtually only source of information on this, what I've put together is this is a plan designed to provide some kind of alternative schooling, including potentially residency, for homeless students. And I applaud that. We need that service here. We need that for our students. And if there's a proven entity that can do that, that knows how to do that in a way that we don't, we should work with that group. I'm for that. I'm not questioning necessarily the decision. I have an issue with the lack of transparency. I have an issue not only because personally I think it's wrong, but I think we miss an opportunity. The board misses an opportunity to hear from stakeholders who may see something they collectively did not. Maybe it's an additional opportunity on top of this one that could have joined to it. Maybe it's a roadblock that could show up, in which case that could be part of the discussion, and we could, instead of building the plane as we fly it, actually have a blueprint for an entire airport and service for all of our passengers. The other piece is, when these things that are important come up in closed session, and nobody knows that it was supposed to come up because it wasn't on the agenda, it causes mistrust, justified or not, in the people who feel like I wanted to hear what was going on. The third piece I would say is, you miss another opportunity, which is to talk to the people who are vitally interested in that there at the meeting, to show them that you've given consideration to the various ins and outs of this thing, and to have them carry your message that the decision was made and it was the right decision. I get frustrated sometimes in this district when we miss big opportunities for steps forward together. I get frustrated when we find ourselves coming head to head over the same old, because of communication problems. I know, speaking personally to some of you individually, you get frustrated with the communication issues too. I ask that we find a way to work together a little bit better on communication, and I'm going to do my part in that as well. But that we stop using other under closed agenda for significant public interest items. Thank you.
Thank you. We have no other public comment. We are at Superintendent's comments.
No comment.
Board members' comments. Mr. O'Connor. Dr. Randalls.
No comment.
Ms. Lanier.
None.
Mr. LeGrand. Mr. LeGrand?
No.
Okay, all right. Mr. Ross.
No comment.
Dr. Baker.
I'll always have a comment. No, I'm just glad that Ferris is here and in the house, and Ferris's School of Education and Grand Rapids Public Schools are creating lots of opportunities to connect, and so I'm really happy about Ferris's continued commitment to Grand Rapids Public Schools. So.
Thank you. Pastor Mooney.
Yeah, I would like to congratulate Crescent High School and the DECA program and all of their staff and everybody that's responsible for that. It seems as if though they're on the right path of education.
Our student rep.
Oh, no, I didn't know we were now including you in the. We'll give you another moment in the sun.
Okay, I just wanted to congratulate the whole GRPS community on qualifying for the comprehensive plus ranking in tobacco-free policy. And I just want to thank you for everybody's hard work put into that to get up to that level from a 2 to a 4. So thank you.
Thank you.
Just want to mention that our fellow board member and colleague, Ms. Slade, will hopefully be returning with us on Monday. She is missed, greatly missed. I also want to congratulate Creston and the leadership of our principal there and Ms. Cook. It's fantastic. And I guess I do want to quickly respond to Mr. Helder that it was not listed under other. It was publicly listed under an action item. I just pulled up the agenda. So, and I also want to clarify that there will still be public hearings for people able to respond for the sale. Thank you. That meeting adjourned.
Good job, Wendy. Hey, and the only reason